Alright, now that we have it going, let's have a look at some of the cool stuff that's been going on. Mechanicus, ooh, I'm excited to see how interesting they are. Although, apparently, the points have been adjusted for them. Since my Mechanicus fleet from before would not allow me to field 4 tyrants, I believe it was. Or was it a dictator? I can't remember what I had before. It was 4 cruisers and Arch Mechanicus, mind you, my battleship. So I had to make a few tweaks on that, which is a bit of a bummer, but maybe it's not a huge issue just yet. Let me just... Are you connected? That's all that matters to me. Thank you. You are now live, you are now running. Now it just begs the question, what do I want to play as? Because even Tyranids have gotten changed, and I would love to play with my eat everything fleet. Only downside though with what they did with my Tyranid fleets is now they kind of nerfed the amount of frigates or escort ships I could put in my fleet. On the plus side, with everything being cheaper, I basically have a 4th cruiser now. Bad news is I'm not going to have my 9 frigates or escort ships like I did before. Remains to be seen if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It sounds like a bad thing. Since how many Krakens do I currently have? Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just 3 of the regular vanguards. So a bit half and half, a little bit. There's a lot of new things to play with. Hell, even Imperial Navy got a boost too. What has, let's see, Space Marines got a slight nerf with their boring torpedoes. Azuriani, ooh, they got nerfed there. It remains to be seen how impactful that's going to be. Hello there, Dire Venom. Welcome to the stream. I think it warrants me playing with the Azuriani first. I'm a little bit sad, although I can understand the nerf to the cruisers. I'm a little sad that the nerf also applies to the light cruisers as well, since all the Azuriani I played up against don't even care about the light cruisers. So when they have only 1 shot of their torpedoes, you think that's going to make them use the light cruisers anymore? That's the only thing I'm a little bit sad with there. But another thing I just realized, where is it? Actually, let me just switch it for another faction. The Disruption Overcharge now actually works against the holofield. This I was not aware of until just a few moments ago. I will have to play with that when I face off against the Eldari to see how impactful that is going to be. Because I can tell you right now, that'll be really good with my Chaos fleet. At least the Lances, it'll definitely help because all those shots are technically going to hit. It's just a question if I can constantly chip down their holofield fast enough for it to even be worth it. Macro cannons, it depends on if I actually hit with the macro cannons if I were to go that build. Nonetheless, I think the big change is the Adeptus Mechanicus, so let's have a look at them. They got better long range potential actually. Let me just quickly go over in case no one knows what they got. Eye of the Omniscion. It's basically a 75% slow, and I think, I could be wrong with this, it stacks. So if you have 2 of these stacked together, if you somehow can aim it in such a way, the target's not going to be moving at all. Mind you only got 1 shot of these, so you gotta make them count. But it helps gives the Nova Cannons a little bit more longevity a little bit, since you're going to be mixing in the Eye of the Omniscience, so that way you can maximize your chance possibly hitting with the Nova Cannons. Otherwise, accuracy, let's see. You're not telling me accuracy. Why don't... Oh, your Lances, that's why. You always hit. Lances got boosted, and macro cannons now got increased accuracy. I don't know how impactful this will be, since a lot of the times at long range you can kind of dodge the macro cannons due to the travel speed. But Lances got a 50% damage boost. They've been worked around almost in every regard, especially with the cold arms and the factor. Yeah, emergency repairs, boost maneuver gauge and their shield even. I like the potential. And this is for emergency repairs. Imperial Navy got a boost for their rally. Encouraging. Is it encouraging speech? I think it is. I'm going to have to double check that to see. But I'm liking a lot of these possibilities. What would be my base options? Augur Probe's never a bad thing, I suppose. It just won't. I just can't honestly remember. Oh, that's a micro warp jump. If I want the micro warp jump or not. And maybe I could swap out the Cybernetical Orb, since it is kind of a bit of a crutch if I use it poorly. Not that it even matters. We can pick what abilities we so wish in the actual fight. So let me just pick whichever, and then we'll get started. These 1v1 matches might be underwhelming, since as you can see my ranking is not very high at the moment with the Adeptus Mechanicus. So we gotta build that ranking up. is what the order of the day is here. Let's get started and have ourselves some fun. I'm interested to see how this plays out. My Arc Mechanicus is going to be a little bit hindered though, due to the fact that I don't have micro warp jump to easily maneuver it around. And it's like my only ship. Ooh, Lord Canar, huh? Orcs it is. I was going to say my micro warp jump, not having that is going to make my battleship a bit of a liability. Just a little bit. So I need to be smart with this. And I wonder, Eye of the Omniscient is, in this situation it probably only helps with either just running away in all seriousness. So if I got one ship way back there able to fire that and slow them, then it gives me some breathing room to maybe chip them down with lances, and at least soften them up before I commit to any real engagement, if nothing else. Otherwise, you're group 2. I don't want you in group 2, you're group 3. I'm still a little bit fatigued and worn down from the week mostly, but I'm interested in playing around understanding all these little patches and cheap tweaks. And I think I want the battleship in the middle. As much as I like the resistance that the battleships have to critical hits, I don't want it getting in the way of everything else when evasive maneuvers is required. And hell, the battleship is the only one that has the spurs for additional ramming damage. So I want to keep that in mind. Since everything else does not, so it's more than likely they're going to be hanging back. I think it's safe to say. And we're facing off against orcs. Do I need an auger probe? Probably not. I also have... This would be amazing, Rad Tempest. And Disruption Bomb, they have very little in terms of, I'm really biased with the Cybernetical Orb. What can I say? Extended range on that? I'm pretty sure this gets bugged as well, so I wonder if this is even worth it. We'll just go with the Assassin. Probably a little more useful in this regard.
We are ready to serve.
We got a lot of hit points to get through. It's kind of the theme of orcs. So actually, let me boost my frigates forward to try and spot them quickly. It's probably the best thing I could do, since the sooner I spot them, the more damage I could do. Even the Cybernetical Orb is not really going to do a whole lot of damage. It's at least a start.
Receiving your order.
Now grab this point. Actually, I don't really need the whole fire in all honesty, but... Let's see, how many frigates... Oh, well, that tells me where the flagship is, at least. And maybe... Yeah, I think this is also a tell that's a battleship as well. That bug's still in effect, and I don't like it one bit. More so because it ruins with my orc build, where I use the commandos to be stealth and hidden. It doesn't do me much favors if they can see where I am at all times, is it now? Because I would love to utilize the tracker can, because that is potentially an amazing skill to utilize.
State your order.
You have seized a strategic area.
Yeah, I'm going to assume a handful of these are frigates. Probably these two are frigates, and then the other two over here may be frigates.
Rouse the engines.
Yeah, there's at least one cruiser there, because I see at least one fighter squadron of note. Thankfully, I got a lot of point defense if I'm dealing with heavy fighters.
Receiving your order.
At least, I should put serious effort in shooting them down too. Who knows when that could become problematic.
The enemy has seized
And let the battleship hang back some. Again, I don't want this kind of hindering the rest of my fleet when I have to move.
Reroute power to retro propulsion.
You have seized a strategic area.
Okay, they're all cruisers in the middle.
Rouse the engines.
Let's at least get ready to do damage. Actually, I should get ready to start turning, so that way my lances could do damage. I don't think I want to go too early on the Novacans. Ideally, if at least with my tyrants anyway. The battleship, maybe I could get away with using Novacans early due to its low mobility, but if possible, I want to shoot down shields. And that was a bit of a mistake, double pulsing. Let's see, 2 frigates here, brutes. I would happily ram you. You are easy kills if I hit you on the side, although that might be not true with the spurs. Oh wow. I guess spurs only works on the prow is what I'm learning here. Since after all, it is like 300% ramming damage for crying out loud against frigates. Point defense are working beautifully here. Now let's get you 2 out. Ideally, ram our brutes some more. And capture his point behind us. You might die though. Nope, you hit the side, good enough.
State your order. Thruster routines active.
Now, let's start with the Nova cans. At least force a boost. I think my opponent's gonna boost out, because why the hell not? There we go. I hope I did not aim that poorly, because the sooner I fire that, the better. Okay, good enough.
To serve the Omnissiah.
That is good enough.
Vector thrust.
There, we just murdered ourselves at least one ship.
Machine spirit
I just
appeased.
don't want that brute to ram me. Let's at least capture points
Engaging drive.
and get our frigates out too as a bonus. Although one mutinied.
We are ready to serve.
I think one of them mutinied.
Purge suspect pathways.
Let's get out of here. We got cybernetic orb.
The enemy is
We got
seizing
maelstrom for good measure. That would force a boost.
With matchless
I just don't have a
efficiency.
stasis bomb, but with emergency repairs I could boost my combustion gauge, which I should seriously consider.
To serve the Omnissiah.
Maybe a little premature, mind you,
Power to retro
but extra
propulsion.
combustion gauge
You
is
have
warranted.
accumulated 25% of strategic points.
And let's prime ourselves for a possibility at Nova cans.
Reroute power to retro propulsion.
And just keep shooting this thing. Look for an opportunity for Nova cans as well.
The enemy has seized a strategic
And I gotta remember I
area.
have a slow to my Nova can too that I
You
gotta
have
try and
seized a
utilize. But
strategic
first, let's
area.
force this thing to boost.
Receiving your order.
That is the plan of the day.
Thruster routines active. Reroute power to retro propulsion.
There, this is gonna hurt a lot if I do this right. We are getting current. We are getting swarmed though, but at least with 3 of them out of the picture, it shouldn't be a problem. I ideally don't want my tyrants to take these hits. The battleship's better equipped for this. Although, stop ramming, please.
Optimal course set. To serve the Omnissiah.
Can I boost forward still? No, I burnt all the combustion. Their combustion gauge.
Does not compute.
And I don't have a means to slow, but I do have means of ramming.
The spirits obey.
And you have a good opportunity for another Nova can shot.
Rouse the engines to fury.
Actually, yes, by all means, ram them. If they're going to turn the side to me, I will happily take it head on. Sadly, wasn't the case there, but
Reroute power
let
to
me
retro
see, can I slow these ones down? Well, it's not actually that helpful since it's a battleship, mind you, which I kind of already deduced.
Rouse the engines. Reroute power to retro
Alright, mutiny there. Let's see, the slow is in effect,
Severe damage to the corrupted machine.
and you could just repair. And that also boosts your combustion gauge, so why don't you go say hello to our friend here? And by hello, I mean attack the flagship, ideally.
With matchless efficiency.
Actually, ram this thing since it has no brace for impact. If I can hit the side, that thing breaks.
Machine spirit appeased.
Perfect. Aw, you had to break my engines, you dick. I did not ask for that.
In your order.
The enemy is seizing one of
Although
your
I still have one shot left in my Nova cans, I still have cybernetic
Does not
orb.
compute.
Let's finish these off.
Omnissiah.
It should be almost... Yeah, you're pretty much going to burn to death. That one's crippled, and you are mutinied.
Odds of survival.
Yeah, I know I have them hold fire, at least most of them.
We are ready to
Oh, I saw I turned them off for the brutes, but I kind of do turn them off on purpose because the macro cans aren't going to be significant enough in most situations, although
reroute power to retro
my
propulsion.
flagship's at risk of dying, isn't
has
it?
seized a strategic area.
And what do I have left? One mutiny and a cruiser,
Machine spirit
which I
appeased.
should be able... Come on, stop turning. Why the hell are you turning? There, that's better. We probably had that glitch again where...
The enemy has
Was it? It's set on group order.
strategic points.
Time to commit kamikaze. And we're just gonna go out with a Nova can bang.
Critical level.
Nope. That's gonna do a lot of damage at least, but dang it.
State your order.
Come on, you can repair. Get the engines up.
Engaging drive.
That battleship could still screw us over.
Machine spirit appeased.
That was inconvenient timing.
Reroute power to retro propulsion.
I can still get out. I still have combustion gauge, or at least enough combustion gauge.
Begin rearmament.
Just capture the points behind them, because I got a substantial lead. Well, I did have a substantial lead, and now I don't. I should be able to still win off based on the capture points as well, maybe. Let's not,
We are ready to serve.
let's not deduce this as a loss, or was it as a victory just yet. I can boost you out. You have 75 armor per hour, so let me at least use you. Oh, you're firing. Which is fine. Damn it. I did not need that mutiny. That was a bad time for a mutiny, but I can at least deal with these onslaughts really well. And they aren't holding fire, so let me fire some torpedoes up its ass. Sadly, the torpedo arc is really bad for hitting. Oh, someone panicked. That was a bit silly of you. I missed that ram there because of rotating my camera at a bad angle. Nope, that may have also been bad. Oh no, one torpedo hit and then ram on the side. Now I want the repair. You're not making this easy for me. I could board that, but let's just finish off this one cruiser. Someone's getting desperate to kill my frigates. Alright, I could dodge these mega cannons. There, nice and simple. This should still be a win, although the points definitely adjusted quite a bit with me losing all my cruisers. That is the power of the mega cannons.
Machine spirit appeased.
Gotta take them seriously, although my prow would have helped a ton absorbing that damage since it would have doubled the longevity of a lot of my ships if I had been diligent enough and realized that my ships were gonna die anyway. Especially with those engine critical hits. Otherwise, let's not run. At least neutralize the point here. Since I have 3 points and I'm likely to get a 4th one in a moment. Well, I'm definitely going to get a 4th one before they neutralize my other points. And you are so close to death, I want to kill you.
We are ready to serve.
So I think that's what I do with this one frigate, is be the hunter-killer that we need, and hunt down this one little savage. Or onslaught even. This is going to be your one rule, and these other two are just going to capture. Which, I do conveniently have them in the hot groups, but let's swap them around for a little bit simplicity's sake. I like to make it a habit that Group 2 is my left side frigates or left squad, and then Group 3 is the squad on the right. And so we don't reveal you, or reveal this one frigate, you're holding fire. This is deliberate in case the battleship happens to get within range. I don't want to give away a surprise if I can help it.
The enemy is seizing one of your strategic areas.
But that was a fun little match. Got good value of the Nova cannons, it's just a question if I should try brute forcing it. Since in most cases I'm going to need 2 Nova cannons to get through the shields alone of that battleship. But it worked effectively well against oh, that was a dumb mistake. I'm getting ahead of myself, and a little bit distracted with the commentary. Oh yeah, I forgot. I never did check the upgrades. And again, I'm a little bit curious about if the extended range on at least the Lancers are bugged. Well, yeah, with the upgrade, I don't know if that already applies it. Actually, I'm pretty certain. Okay, there, with the Mega Sap cannons, that I know for a fact is with the extended range. It was bugged for... Okay, I saw the speed go down like 60 and I was wondering what happened there. Now I lost my train of thought. I am curious if the Sap cannons bugged for the Orc players as well, because it was definitely... bugged with my Chaos fleet when I did my videos. But yeah, well, they are bad moons after all, so that is the unique upgrade to them. You kind of can infer to a limited extent what upgrades they have because of that. I want to argue anyway, especially with Chaos, for crying out loud. It's almost a giveaway that they're going to be using Siren cannons or Slanesh Khorne abilities if they're that faction. But let's see, I got a substantial lead. I want to find that frigate. Actually, I think the smart thing to do is wait until it grabs the point. And not before.
To serve the Omnisire.
Since all I need to do is shoot that thing with one torpedo, so element of surprise is definitely going to make this likely to work
The
for
enemy
me.
is close to victory by strategic points.
Not much you can do, buddy. This is over. I could have done a little bit more with those two cruisers if I had their prow facing. Maybe. They definitely would not have done enough to kill the battleship, mind you, with that sheer amount of health. But at least they would have lived longer and served as a little bit better bait.
We are ready to
No,
serve.
stop shooting at me. You're not allowed to shoot at me.
Cluster routines active.
Especially if you're 4 DACA per 2 seconds. That's not really a lot of DACA if you're only shooting 4 guns. That's less DACA than even the Imperial Navy, I want to argue. It's a window. A lot of nuances to figure out though, but I feel like getting my Arc Mechanicus in the fray with the cruisers was definitely a good choice, because good god, the spurs cannot be underestimated, especially since you don't really think of spurs very much with the Adeptus Mechanicus, I would argue anyway. Since none of these cruisers have spurs on them, they do not want a ram. Arc Mechanicus on the other hand loves the ram, if I can afford it. However, I do need to get to level 9, which actually won't be very long if I want to get the micro warp jump. So it won't be long there. Now, as much as I love to play with Tyranids, let's go with the other side of the spectrum. Mechanicus got a lot of buffs. The Azuriani, on the other hand, have gotten a potentially tremendous nerf. I'm kind of okay with it to a limited extent, at least for the cruisers, because they're like the only Eldari cruisers, or at least most of the Eldari ships, that shoot 8 torpedoes, for crying out loud. So in essence, they have 2 salvos in one go, since Corsairs only fire 4 torpedoes. Drukhari, I think, are the exception. I think they fall to 4, 6, and 8 torpedoes. I'm pretty certain that's the case. We already know 4 for the light cruisers. What about the other one? Alright, so they're more traditional, and they do the full 90 damage. So the interesting question is, why didn't they nerf Drukhari if torpedoes was such a problem? I would argue the hull field in combination with their durability and the torpedoes was the problem. I would argue anyway. I kind of do wish that I could afford... I would like... When I did a Shuriani, I would prefer, in all honesty, have 2 firestorms and just 4 fire... Well, 2 dragon ships and 4 wraith ships, but the points don't add up the best. Never mind the fact it's like 40 points for like 4 more torpedoes per shot. Which that alone almost justifies the point difference to go all cruisers. So, if I'm going to make this work, it has to be the solid running that pulls me through. But in all honesty, I kind of would like it to be similar to how my Corsair fleet is. 4 Auroras, 4 light cruisers, and 2 regular cruisers. I feel like that's... I like the feel of it a lot more, at least. Because hell, all the Azurianis, all they do is go 5 cruisers and that's it. Not really much originality. And hell, I really should experiment more with the Phoenix with that said. But I regress. What was my train of thought there? Well, just seeing how impactful this nerf is. And hell, on the plus side, they did buff my lances or my pulsars. Yeah, battleships every salvo. I can understand that since the battleships don't have the convenience of high energy turn. If you can see it coming, then you can potentially dodge them really easily, though. That's the trick, though. See them coming. Otherwise, I don't have much choice as upgrades, do I? That's the only problem with my pulsar fleet. There's nothing that buffs my torpedoes, and there's nothing that really buffs my pulsars the best. Except for the Spirit Lens, which sounds ridiculous. But I might consider using an Eldar mirror match of some kind. We just gotta get an Eldar mirror match first. But we got at least the queues are pretty quick. Mind you, I have like no 1v1 matches at all with a lot of these factions aside for the ones I'm doing currently with my YouTube videos. So it's gonna slow down a bit as I get higher rank, so let's enjoy the quick queues while we can. If it's actually working as intended, mind you, it's supposed to pair you up with people of the same ranking. I don't know if that's actually working as intended just yet. But Imperial Navy, this should be fun. Torpedoes could still delete a lot of ships with these 8 torpedoes. But the real fun, or the real trick, will be getting value out of my Wraith ships here. Since, like I said, only 40 points difference, and what I'm really gaining is just the ability to solid run. Is all I'm actually getting. And maybe 2 solar sails, since that could be a big liability too, having only a single engine critical hit to kind of neuter your speed. And actually, standard weapon critical hit chances, I'm hoping that works with the lances, because apparently lances and all that don't benefit from the reload. So what on earth am I supposed to use with the pulsars? 35% critical hit chance. I'm just seeing if that changes. Yeah, oh, lock-on does work, so I found my answer at least. Because if I didn't get the critical hit bonus, what the hell is the pulsar supposed to be using as far as stances? And Imperial Navy, what do I want? Disruption bomb for pulsars, stasis bomb maybe? And there's like no asteroid belts to be concerned with. I need to find different upgrades, which is getting really difficult. Hey, didn't I unlock the Honor Guard? I'm pretty certain I unlocked the Honor Guards. This may be a potential bug. I could be wrong, and maybe I mistake the loyal. No, I had an upgrade that allows me to increase my loyalty if I'm within sensor range. So clearly, something's out of whack. I don't know what upgrades to take in all seriousness, though. That's the problem.
I stand ready.
And I gotta be mindful not to right bone shift too much with these, since it does give away their position. Oh. Take your bets now if this is 6... Is it even possible? Oh, 6 Dominators maybe. I suspect this may be 6 Dominators. So, with that said, do not ever use my Wraithbone shift. Unless I absolutely have to. I need to keep that in reserve. And if it is 6 Dominators, then my opponent has no frigates, so I may as well just play the point game. I just need to be very careful grabbing the point there, since I'm going to be surprisingly close. This will be the ultimate challenge of my awareness and micromanagement. It goes without saying, because those things can murder me quickly if I do this poorly.
The winds rise.
And I definitely am not going to Wraithbone shift. Maybe I should spread out some.
We understand.
I do need to reveal the ships though, which is the one downside of this fleet, is I have no actual frigates. Which is kind of a shame. I would love to play with the Azuriani frigates, but they only have 200 frigate health. 70, almost 80 points, and they only have 200 health on those cursed things. They are really damn fragile, even with the additional armor. Never mind the fact they don't even have pulsars. I would argue the Hellborn is so much more satisfying, and works synergizes so much well with this type of play. I gotta be ready to get the hell out in a hurry. I am going in with the assumption that these are Dominators.
Holding advance.
And as soon as I get revealed, I'm gonna get shot to hell. No, the Grand Cruisers. Really? 6 Grand Cruisers? I didn't even think you could afford that much. Let's just get on out and start chipping down. We'll save the torpedoes for an opportune moment, since that much point defense is sure to even do a good job on my torpedoes, even if they do ridiculous damage.
You have seized a strategic area.
It also helps to have my fleet grouped up. Now, how am I going to approach this? Well, almost always I'm going to be attacking from the front, since they have no torpedoes or anything to really threaten me. The problem is making sure I focus fire. And actually, I should just stasis bomb for good measure. I should stasis bomb when I absolutely have to. I can safely do this very easily. And these are all Avengers, right? Yep. And you have lock on, so you can get some shots on me. So let's juke and jive, just to help mitigate this fire some. I gotta be mindful, I'm gonna get shot at really horribly here. But I can easily juke and jive. This is just gonna be a little bit more dangerous. I did not pay attention to my Wraithbone shift timing though. That was a bit of a mistake. but it's good damage so far. Oh, I don't know. I just realized my wraiths are on group 3 as a... Well, that was a rough start. It's good damage. We took out a third of that one Grand Cruiser's health. I just gotta be diligent with the juking if I want to avoid a lot of these macro cannons. And I see a very isolated ship. Sadly, I only got one torpedo salvo to really do damage. So I think my plans to ignore these cruisers for now. Nope. Actually, potential. Force them to spread out, that makes my life a lot more easier. I'm just not going to be able to do the damage to the shields I want. Alright, fire the pulsars. Oh, I actually got rid of all the shields, surprisingly. I shouldn't have Wraith Bone Shift, but again, that's not a huge issue just yet, since they're kind of flying away from me. I gotta keep an eye on the clock too, that's gonna be really important for knowing when my pulsars are off cooldown, since I don't have the easiest way to tell otherwise. This is going to be a severe test on micromanagement for me, since my opponent has an easier time than me after all.
I walk the mariner's path.
Yep. Since if I spend too much time on my frigates, then I'm easily screwing myself over quite a bit. But one engine permanent critical hit, I like that potential. Now, let's go do more damage. Yeah, just keep distance. I'm wedged into a corner, but I also have a stasis bomb to kind of help allow me to get on out, since I haven't used that yet. Unfortunately, there's the dang engine to get, or one Grand Cruiser shields to get through. Alright. I would love to shoot at that one Avenger there, start crippling it. Oh. You're making the decision for me a little bit.
The winds rise.
Did I set engine? Yeah, I did set engine priority. That was a bad torpedo salvo, sadly. Unfortunately, but we got ourselves a... I have disruption bomb, I gotta remember that too. Now, this is a premature torpedo, or is it gonna hit?
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
As foretold.
So far, so good. We got more shields to get through, is the only problem. So let's just get the hell out. I'm probably gonna lose by points. But you are in prime position to get murdered now. And if I deal with this Grand Cruiser really well, which, for me to do that, I need to hit with damn torpedoes. So let's keep that in mind.
Where the winds guide.
I'm not really dashing in there, but then again, it's off cooldown at the moment. Just a little bit.
Ancestors. Relocating.
Energize thrusters. The enemy has
I wasn't paying attention to my cruisers at all, but they're still in good shape. Once I kill this Grand Cruiser, I'm in okay shape. I'm just doing a bad job, especially with the limited firepower, mind you. That's a big part of what's going on here.
As foretold.
Another salvo or two will do it.
The winds guide.
Once I get through the shields, of course. Because then I can steal these points. Ooh, mutiny and the deck's gone. Alright, so I'll happily take that. Hell, I have 200 more points than them.
We understand.
Yeah, disruption bomb. I kind of forgot about that. Because that's the... Although, apparently the radius bug's still in effect too. Since this is clearly a lot bigger than it seems. Let me just grab the points. Hell, my cruisers should join the light cruisers with that said. It's not going to be possible for me to punish that, but it isolates them. I'm looking forward for a nice sandwich here we're about to do. Potentially do. But let me at least regroup with my fleet first. I could switch to reload for faster boost. That's not a terrible idea. But with 3 points, I'm in good, phenomenal shape. Just keep turning when I see these cannons come in. Since these cannons are aim is based on where I am flying to when they reach me. So if I easily turn or stop, it helps a lot in mitigating that damage.
A strategic area.
So attention to detail is kind of key.
You have accumulated 50% of
Now let's gang up on
points.
this thing.
For the craft world.
Turn off the Wraithbone shift. Hopefully that dodges a lot.
I stand ready.
This is going to be brutal. And I still have 2 cruiser torpedoes and 1 light cruiser torpedo salvo left to use. I would like to space bomb them, but I don't even need to. I just gotta separate... my light cruisers aren't even shooting, for crying out loud. I wasn't paying attention because of the narrow field. Alright. One more salvo and we're done here. You have another 15 seconds to your name, so we gotta be careful. I messed up with my pulsars, didn't I? It at least allows me to turn around quickly. Yeah, keep flying towards me. You have no torpedoes or anything to really be useful, I'm afraid to say. Keep firing. Keep firing. I should aim for torpedoes. Engine destroyed. You're also the one that don't have torpedoes available. Now, are these torpedoes going to hit? They're not. My opponent's not boosting, so they're going to get some good hits. Actually, let's deal with the one that has health, since he's going to be next on the list. That was a good hit. We're not done yet, though. This one Grand Cruiser still needs to die. There we go. Oh, engines are critically hit, so this... While I did dodge most of that ram, that's still a bad position to be in. Now, torpedoes. You have torpedoes, but no Wraithbone shift, so let's keep that in mind. There we go. Not as good torpedo hits as I would like, mind you, but they're still good hits. And how many Grand Cruisers that left? A crippled flagship, which, because of shields, it's going to be tricky to punish that. But I still got plenty of health left, and I got a substantial point lead too. And I think I only have 1 torpedo salvo left. I am not getting any actual critical hits, which is a bit of a shame though, but with the fire assault, I think that's going to break. Yep, it broke. Without a... You need a rally if you want to kind of stop that.
50% of strategic points.
Oh, engines can be repaired too, so... While it took a lot of damage, it's back in fighting form. I just gotta not get rammed by the Grand Cruiser here. I have no more pulsars. I kind of blew it some there. Ooh, more points. I'll take it. I gotta get my control figured out here. Oh, your engines is permanently gone now at last. That's a shame, but let's stop fumbling my controls. This is still gonna be a win. Hell, I just gotta destroy almost 1 more Grand Cruiser if I want to get this win. This is what I like most about Eldar. Sure, I could be cheesy or just go with the 5 cruisers, but I feel like this is a lot more satisfying. just outmaneuvering and outplaying the opponent, as opposed to just hope my gun's more powerful than their guns. Which is what a lot of Eldar players do, as made apparent by Jukari going with 3 battleships. As I hinted already, the Azuriani going with 5 cruisers with their 8 torpedoes. And I think it's just all cruisers, even for Corsairs mostly, since no one really cares about the poor Auroras if they want torpedoes. I ruined my pulsar fire there heavily. Engine permanently destroyed. Actually, let me just disruption bomb you. Save me a pulsar shot that way. And can I board? Yes, I can. So what? Let's not waste that. Alright. Engines are prioritized. I should just aim for a deck, mind you, since its deck's about to go. Wow. I got the engine and the deck and the generator. Deck. Let's see. The 35% critical hit chance is amazing, I gotta argue, when you got like 6 pulsars firing at the same time. Mind you, well, I take that back. I was silent running, so that doesn't really count as much. I got incredibly lucky with those salvos. Since you gotta keep in mind, how does it work? There's like the ratio is like almost a third, I think, for the Grand Cruisers. So it's a lot less likely for me to get those critical hits. Oh, and how you dick! You're mutinying and you're capping the point. Well, like I said, I enjoyed that. That's kind of where I find the appeal of Eldar more often than not. Not the Star Cannon shenanigans. Hell, Star Cannons were never really popular in Armada 1 anyway. Maybe because of how the armor mechanic worked, mind you. It's in combination of the brace for impact giving you a 95% resistance, which is substantial, which is significant compared to the 83 that we currently have for Imperial Navy and all that. It was really damn potent, but no one really cared about Star Cannons very much. It was all about the bombers and pulsars. Realistically, I think it was all about the bombers. The pulsars were a constellation prize when you have Void Stalkers and Vols, or Eclipses rather. But I enjoyed that nonetheless, but it's like I said, my Shrine the Azurian was kind of locked to me when I want to switch to it. That is kind of odd. We found ourselves a bug, I just don't know what caused the bug, mind you. Now, let's go to the real fun. My Tyranids, they sort of got buffed. In my case, they sort of got nerfed, because I'm no longer able to have, the 12 frigates I had before. I had to cut them back some. But they've been buffed in that the escort ships are cheaper. My tentacles on my battle cruisers are now better, because it stacks based on the cruisers. So it's what? 1 assault action for light cruiser and the frigates, 2 for the cruisers, battle cruisers, and the battleship here does 3 assault actions every 6 seconds. Which can be a little bit tricky keeping them still for 6 seconds, let alone 12, but that helps a lot. And I did swap them out for the carrier versions of the Devourers, since I kind of have the points for them, and again, I hinted at before, I don't think the bioplasma is really useful for me if I'm going to rely on eating the crew. Nonetheless, I'm looking forward to trying to win with this. It can be a bit hectic, especially when I so scarcely play this fleet too. That's a lot of the problem, I would imagine, with this fleet. I don't play it enough to really get accustomed to it. So I'm really excited for getting back into Tyranids at some point for my week-long endeavors. Otherwise, we got 4 battle cruisers, Chameleonic Skin, and I'm gonna have to see if the spore fields actually last for 2 minutes now if they fix that. Apparently they buffed the damage for 5 damage a second, as opposed to 3 damage a second, so that could be useful. It's gonna be tricky to do. Otherwise, anything else I really care about? Nothing that helps with boarding all that much, just durability and mobility, if I would be honest. So let's just eat everything. And this time, let's not have the damn game crash on me, please. At least my Tyranid fleet has a higher ranking, so we should get a lot more difficult type of match, as opposed to at least my opponent utilizing a powerful but yet simplistic type of fleets, is what I would argue the Grand Cruiser fleet is. Since again, I can run away, and there's nothing my Grand Cruiser adversary can really do. Especially since it is really possible for me to hard counter those macro cannons. It just requires me to put incredible focus into my cruisers dodging. Since it is really easy when you think about it, at least for light cruisers and most cruisers, if they have enough mobility. It probably won't work for battleships, even a Void Stalker, not easily. God damn it. Is it me, or is my Tyranid fleet cursed to never be able to get a proper match? It's starting to feel like that a little bit. But I'm going to try again nonetheless. And maybe after I'll try some 2v2s. If anyone is actually interested in joining me for a couple of 2v2s, I'd be happy to accommodate ya. At least, so that way I don't have to be super serious and super focused. Kind of like that Eldari match sort of was, with me trying to make sure I keep jumping back and forth between my two fleets. It still was fun though, but it does take... I do need to focus if I want to do that properly. Hell, I could have done that better. I wasn't doing a good job paying attention to the clock. Ooh, chaos. They're nice and tasty. All it really is just hard crust, mind you. I don't even think there's any flesh inside those shells. If I were to be so honest. They make a good appetizer though. So I'm gonna happily take it. And I got 4 Devourers now that all have Synapse Link. It's just a question, now that I have less frigates, how passive do I want to be with my battleship or battle cruisers? That's gonna be the real trick. Because they could very easily get picked off if I'm not careful. Oop, you were supposed to be group 3. I'm losing my train of thought some. Actually, I'm going to make my middle group have, well, not 2 vanguards for one. Let's fix that. My middle group's going to actually have 3 frigates, since they can support the other 2 squads easily enough. You are group 2. You're group 3. And I gotta keep in mind, I think my opponent can actually see or hear my dang rushes if I'm not careful. See, you're group 1, I might as well. Oh, I kind of unbinded my groups. Which are my groups there? I'm kind of getting mixed up. Oh, group 1 was in the middle. Yeah, I'm messing this up a bit. Oh, I totally messed this up because I moved everything too. Not my proudest moment. I'm just trying to figure out how to manage all these different sub-fleets. That's the real problem I'm gonna have here. It's a lot of the reason why I need to get a lot of matches in to at least get used to this. Otherwise, let's get moving and see what my Tyranids have to say. It's group 2. Don't disappoint me. Group 3. Group 4, get moving. And group 5. And keep an eye where that beacon's going. 5 ships going directly towards this one objective here. And I could launch fighters. That kind of gives away where my cruisers are. And interestingly enough, ooh, reduces the cooldown to 5 seconds. There's a lot of new stuff here. I can recharge my fighters and torpedoes. This is really exciting for my Tyranid fleet. Do I want to go so ridiculous with the fighters though? Actually, if I'm going to launch fighters, let me at least do this properly. Let me at least have my fighters at least intercept at the same time, ideally. So what I'm going to do is wait until these fighters are at least able to join with these ones at the same time, so that way they're not isolated and picked off one by one. What I'm going to try, although I'm doing a bad job preparing for this beacon. Now, where are the fighters? They are relatively slow. 400 speed a second. So hopefully that's enough. And have I been revealed? Not yet.
A strategic area.
I am going to lose points, but that's mainly because I'm a slower fleet and I'm kind of afraid to get spotted. Which I kind of am already spotted. Alright, I can easily fix that chemionic skin in effect. And I've been forgetting my dang abilities too. That would be kind of nice to remember. And Pulse did nothing. Can I eat it though? That's the big question. Can I eat the cruiser? Oh. Okay, I was spotted. Come on. Give me some food. It's just 6 seconds or so is all I need for some assault actions. Did I get... Okay, 2. Can I get more? You're gonna boost on out, sadly. So, that frigate's almost guaranteed to die. Sadly, I lost my meal with the Krakens. I'm kind of marked right now. Drifting Hulk, I'll happily take that. Again, I'm doing a bad job focusing my fleet control a bit. And I would like to eat you. I got shields kind of designed for that some. Actually, let me have my Krakens go back there and help prepare for those frigates. If he's going to try and steal points, I'm going to happily try and devour some. Let them make the first move. Did my fighters detect anything? Whoa, what the hell was that frame drop there all of a sudden? Sadly, my fighters are not well synergized with their timing, but that's because my opponent decided to side strafe some. Let's... Did this thing self-destruct? It must have self-destruct. Maybe. I took some hull damage, that's all I know. Probably from ramming, if I were to be so honest. Actually, let me grab this point. Although, if those are Acrons, I'm going to get shot at, so let's be serious here. Yep, all Acron fleet. And, unfortunately, my Kraken's not well equipped to deal with Lances the best. Let's see. Let me just... Yeah, can I bring that down? Yeah, 5 seconds. We could do a double rush play. This is where a lot of playtesting comes in to figure out how to get the most out of my new Tyranid toys. Especially if they don't see this coming. This would be amazing. Unlikely, but amazing nonetheless. Because the beacon is conveniently not coming right at me. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, you transfer crew, that's what. Alright. And the gas clouds being a burden too. But I could take the lance hits, just shoot at the ones with shields after all. Although, start eating. And actually, I could just get in the asteroid belt and conceal myself easily enough. It's going to take me a few seconds, but I can do it. And I have 3 points now. Again, it's going to take me a few seconds though, so let's... Well, actually, I'm going to keep getting shot at, so that's kind of okay to a limited extent. I could take these hits, but what am I just gonna... Oh, how long until the rush? 10... I don't want to use Adrenal Glands now. But we did a good amount of damage there with one single Kraken. I just gotta get groups up to kind of punish this, because right now I have 3 points. My opponent needs to come to me. And you could just Adrenal Gland. Actually, you could just jump back over to the asteroid belt. See if we could deal with our frigate some.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Because I think that's all that's left is 2 cruisers. And I should start laying down these spore fields, because they're really damn important, aren't they? Especially since apparently they don't expire still. So the text is aligned to a vague extent. I'm gonna have fun eating this crew here. I just gotta again keep an eye out for frigates, and also I got 3 ships that are kind of a little bit slow to the party. Do I have more adrenals? You're just running now. Alright, eat this Acheron. Boost forward. I'm controlling this badly, mind you, but hopefully the assault does its work. Because I think my opponent may be tunnel fishing a tiny bit, thinking the flagship's the important thing to kill. Which is not how it works, I'm afraid to say. Not with my Tyranid fleet. And you can get some good assault actions here. Can you rush? You can rush. I hit the wrong button, didn't I? Yes, fall for the trap of going after the flagship. It's not going to do you a lot of favors just yet. And then fly into the rest of my fleet, please. And I kind of want to board another one, because this may be a bit overkill. Come on, let me... Well, it helps if I stop burning retros. Ooh, drifting hulks, drifting hulks. Ooh, I didn't even lose one of my cruisers. I don't like the idea of rushing into them, mind you. But it may be warranted for the situation at hand here. Look at all this yummy, yummy boarding. 21, 13, 16, 12. There's only one that's kind of feeling left out. We need to fix this. We need to solve this problem right now. There, you get some boarding too, to include into the mix. Now, if only I could turn around my ships for the tentacles, which I can't do, for some reason. Why you no turn around? Just get everything out. Oh, you're about to die. Oh, burn retros doesn't help me in any regard either. I'm getting too excited with all this munching. What can I say? It's so tasty. Even though, really, again, there's just hollow shells, mostly. Now, I have an easy solution for you. Even though I kind of was not paying attention, I still got synapse. Oh. I gotta stop with this burn retros. I'm doing a bad job paying attention. But you are easily fixed. This is where the main value of the Krakens comes in. They're so easy to kind of negate or turn off one of these ships with no crew. There, now let's deal with our frigates, friend. No, you killed off one. I still got one more left, and that's a drifting hulk. Oh, the drifting hulk's also capping? No, it can't be capping. There's a frigate here. Let's go say hi. Really? But that thing is capping. That I was not expecting a drifting hulk could do that. Oh well, let's grab all the points. Again, with this burning retros is hurting me a lot. It's a lot to take in. There's a lot of moving pieces. And a lot of the difficulties because I, again, play this fleet so sporadically. I don't play consistently enough to at least figure out how to best optimize my hotkeys, my groups, and all that. Since you saw me try and experiment with having like 3 escort frigates and one of my battle cruisers in a single group, which limited my control groups down to 3, which probably is still the best choice to do, if I were to be perfectly honest. But, yeah, now I have the lead, well, I'm about to have the lead because my opponent's been blowing up all the ships, so if I can bait them to maybe blow up this flagship, then I get even more points. I like this idea. Let's see if he falls for it. Since I still have morale and I have Krakens for crying out loud. Although I'm taking hits from something. Alright. That's going to be bored to death there. I still got more boring potential. And you're going to try and blow it up. Yes, please. Thank you for your contribution. I should be able to get out of here in time. Yep, I'm going to get out in time. You just gave me more free points, but why the hell am I doing a bad job controlling?
You are close to victory by strategic.
And why the hell are you taking boarding damage is what I have to ask. Is it just me, or I wasn't the only one that saw 2 Krakens taking boarding actions for no reason, right? I don't know. It's a bit of a mess though. I am so looking forward to when I can focus on Tyranids for a full week and really flesh out the control and potential maybe of this fleet. Since I did a bad job using my spore fields, let alone the psychic scream, I was not even paying attention to my abilities at all. It was more about eating everything. I may have ate too much or focused on the food or just devouring everything and not savoring the taste, is I think what happened here. Can you blame me? Tyranids are never satisfied with their food. I think we all know that. Now though, let's play some 2v2, and I think this warrants a good opportunity to play with more, invalid fleet. I kinda know that, since it's not a 1,000-point fleet yet. Oh, that's why it's invalid, because of the frigate change. I'm gonna practice a little bit with the Pyro Asset for this game. And again, if anyone wants to join me for 2v2s, let me know in Twitch chat. Since I do believe I have Steam set to Do Not Disturb, so I'm not actually seeing any invitations if anyone is sending a friend invite. Only downside, the only thing I really don't like is these Devourers do not have any Pyro Asset on the prow, which makes it a little bit tricky to incorporate them. I do want at least the Pyro Asset flagship though. I gotta figure, which one is it? No, that's Bioplasma. There you are. That's the one I want. You got spurs, you got health, you got all sorts of good stuff. What else could... I should also consider playing with torpedoes. They're kind of undervalued. And since I can regenerate torpedoes, this makes it more appealing for me to actually use them. It does cost me troops, mind you, but... You know what? I'm seriously considering going torpedoes. Maybe I'll do that for the next game. Let's build ourselves a Pyro Asset fleet, since that has a lot of promise and potential. You are all Pyro Asset weaponry there. Ew, you're pretty expensive though. Only thing I don't like about this. And how many Krakens? Well, Krakens are pretty cheap, but is there any reason I want a light cruiser? With that said, no, I don't want Bioplasma. I want lots and lots of Pyro Asset. Give me something that's all Pyro Asset all the time, please. Well, that sounds good. 133 points. We'll keep that in mind. And I really like the potential of the Krakens. These Pyro Asset ones are expensive as hell. Good God. They're 55 points per Pyro Asset, which can be a bit tricky. Hell, I could go with a second. Battleship if I so wish. It almost gives me enough points for another one, maybe a drone to kind of join the flagships. I wonder, 14 damage, 2 shots? How is that compared to these? Not as impressive, a little bit. It's a little bit weaker. I'll go with it. And then otherwise I'll play with the idea of a torpedo boarding build. That has promise. Especially with the regeneration, I could fire them at range too. They're probably never going to hit anything, but I don't think that's something that's being experimented a whole lot. I get the feeling, since a lot of Tyranid players never really used torpedoes in general. They focused on the bombers, not bombers, but the carrier fleet, and that got nerfed for launch. And then they had to get buffed up in every other regard, basically. Which in all honesty, I kind of like the changes they made to Tyranids, at least at first glance. Mind you, this was my only real match with the new Tyranid edition, so it could change. Also, let's see. I may have to seriously consider getting the lightning strike ability for all my ships too. That has potential. But enough talking. Let's shoot some stuff. Let's watch them burn in a blaze of glory. In fact, let's just digest them, since that's what the Pyro Asset is. We're literally barfing at them every 8 seconds. It is very corrosive, needless to say. I just have to remember to drink something, good God. This is going to become a consistent thing when my throat starts straining on me after all. And I would like to avoid that. I just wish I remembered to bring water. I just have cold tea at the moment, which probably doesn't do us favors. Hey, look, it's our Chaos friend again. They're back, and they have relegated themselves to 2v2. I feel bad. They're gonna get eaten again. Just in a slow, digestive manner, rather than eating out the crew. But we do have blood axes. We have to be mindful of them concealing themselves. Ooh, I like this fleet. I see lots of mega cannons. Well, I see a hive ship in the way too. Its big carapace is kind of in the way. So I like this potential of our friend. Holy crap. It's a one-note fleet, mind you, but that's a ridiculous amount of firepower. The trick is getting in close with it. So Pyro Asset Fleet. I gotta remember, Keelmonic Skin. Orcs are gonna melt to Drool Cannon, but they're also gonna potentially melt to my Pyro Asset. Do I go with Foil Lurker? It's probably safer anyway. It might... I'm just wondering, what are you pinging for? I'm trying to monologue here. I'm gonna try and beat a bait. I think it's the plan here. I kind of want to go with... That's the plan anyway. I'm just gonna have to take my time. Since if all the cruisers are going to be over there capped at that point, it's going to be a while until they join the fight. So I got to play cautious and just bait them out with the frigates. Otherwise, I did... Oh, I should switch these to the reload, because why not? It should come back off cooldown soon enough. At least that way it allows my rush to come back up. And if possible, maybe grab this point as a bonus, if I'm lucky enough. Where's the beacon? Or is that my ally? Oh, my allies through the beacon. Really? No? Where the hell is the beacon then? Didn't I already look in that direction? Why am I being lied to, damn Armada 2? Why you do this? Hell, I can even use adrenal glands at the start of a match to ridiculously boost my movement. Oh, you're the drone. You're a useless drone that's going to be lagging behind and probably get spotted. Oh well, you'll help cap the point some. I should have in all seriousness done that. At least right away. I could do it right now.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
It would have warranted to do it as soon as possible. No, just take my time, grab the points. I'm going to easily get this third point potentially. Potentially. Just don't let the hive ships get spotted needlessly. And then I can use predatory sense or tracking sense as the kind of spot. Oh, company. Company.
You have seized a strategic area.
I got Krakens, so once I'm able to rush, I could just murder these things quickly. Or hell, you could just run for me. That'd be nice, but I'd rather kill you. I'd rather eat you. I missed the rush. Stupid me. There, that was a solid hit. Now, gotta kill this one so that way I can use the chemionic skin, because my opponent did not actually scanner pulse yet. There we go. That was a good start. I let myself get detected, mind you. And almost got hit by a torpedo of all things, but with the frigates, but this is a good start for us. Tracking sense is active. I want to go say hi and spot all your things. It's the Necron fleet again. Is anyone surprised? Now the trick will be getting close. It's with both me and my orc friend here. We're going to have a hard time getting close without stasis bombs or some way to slow them. What was that ping? Oh. I can at least head over there and at least deal with them some. I'm taking some withering fire. And since I'm stealthed and I just killed off my Chaos friend's cruisers or scouts, I should try and be intimidating. I didn't see where that ping was, mind you, unfortunately. But I have the predatory senses. Actually, let me just go for the weapons. That's going to be the most important factor here. It's engines we want to kill on the chaos. Okay, there's orcs fleets there. What am I doing? I could just hide. Yes, come to me. You know you want to. Now brace for impact. Even though I have spurs. Holy crap, that thing's immediately dead. Well, it is 8, like 10 friggin' mecha cannons, for crying out loud. I think no one should be surprised by this. Right? Right? And sadly you called to arms when it did absolutely nothing.
You have accumulated 25%
what?
to strategic points.
In the end, I know it was me that did absolutely nothing besides make them turn around. My Mega Cannon friend did all the work. It's just a shame the orc kind of spread out their fleet some. Let's just go on in, have our fun with them. Wait, really? Really? Did my Void Lurker not work? Is it because the cruisers conveniently got in the way? That is really unfortunate. I was gonna jump in there and melee and board them and everything. It was not meant to be. Well, that was infuriating. And this orcs with torpedoes is not gonna do a lot of good. Hell, it's a mixed up fleet too for whatever reason. And let me prioritize these engines because they are what's gonna give us the most trouble here. Sadly, I lost one of my pyro assets, so you're going to be a little more limited. Oh, I completely forgot these things also have fighters too. Only a single? No, they have 2 squads. So they could still do a little bit there of annoyance. I just wasn't considering it when I built this fleet, mind you. Can you blame me? I was building towards pyro asset after all. Come at me. Come at me. Let me brace for impact and try and rush this thing, although I'm not close enough, am I? Nope. But the engines are down, so let's stab it with one of our tusks. No! Hitbox, why you fail me? You're supposed to ram this thing with your jaws. There, that's more like it.
You have accumulated
Now I feel a little
50%
more
of
privilege.
strategic points. You have seized
I
a
want to
strategic
blink right there,
area.
but I don't think it's gonna work. Actually, let me wait till this thing actually dies first. And what's my oh, the orcs are kind of dealt with. That's kind of nice. We got one crip. Hell, I don't even need to deal with this thing anymore. Ooh, fully regenerate troops. Wow, that's some synergy there. That's a little bit on the ridiculous side. Now we're gonna board the flagship and eat it. Yes, run, run, leave your one Necron to die a miserable death. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna fly into my waiting arms. This time it actually did work. Now I'm just wondering what I want to use. Well, I don't think I care about troops so much, even though I am getting close to losing my first step. But yes, fly towards my ally, why don't you? Also, let me ram you. That was not a ram. That was a horrible attempt at a ram. But if it rams me, that's actually best case situation, because it minimizes a lot of the damage I would have taken for said ram. Oh, I hope I didn't hit my orky friend. Nom 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 nom. Ooh, I see fresh meat. Oh, it's just a mutinying ship. We're gonna eat it anyway. Full speed ahead, this thing must get eaten. It must not leave the battlefield in one piece. And now, wait for Rush to come off cooldown and then board the hell out of these other ships. And by board, I mean launch my assault ships right at them at point blank range. Who am I kidding? I got one more blink. Let's have them help me with this endeavor. Really?
Seized a strategic area.
Oh, that's infuriating. Maybe I'm being a little bit greedy. But still, that's annoying to have happen. Come on, die already. I want more points. Give me more points. Well, I'm learning a little bit about this Void Lurker ability at least. Which is now temporarily damaged, but that's no big deal. Now we'll just go in the wrong direction. Oh well, this is pretty much over anyway. Hell, we're about 400 points away too, so that's easily going to be achieved. Let me just get out of the way of my ally a little bit. Ooh, and if you can get an emergency repair on that thing, that could just boost in there and ruin their day. Come on, repair, repair. I believe in you. It must be on cooldown still. It was wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Now what do I want to prioritize? Easily the one that's about to die. They're coming for me. Ooh, I noticed I don't have the shield regeneration anymore too. Which is a good way to bait them. My shields are about to come back up. Fall for the bait. Supercharge my shields. And let me munch on you. You're making it difficult for me to munch. I got friendly ships in the way. Am I allowed to munch on my friendly ships? Is that allowed?
You are close.
How the hell, munch everything. Well, I got the ram in, sort of. I want to hit both of them. Now it just means that it was for nothing with that abysmal failure. And I think I still have Synaptic Link because of this other hive ship. I believe that's how it works. I'm just trying to find it in this mess. It says Synaptic Link, so I want to say I'm still safe. Well, that's game. Well, that was brutal. I feel bad for that orc player. Oh my god. 10 bashes, and they basically one-shot it. An orc cruiser. Pretty damn near, well, closely. Hell, if you consider the fire results, it might as well have been a one-shot. I don't think it could get anything closer than that. Now, what else do I want to check? We gone through Chaos. Well, not Chaos, but Adeptus Mechanicus, the Ashuriani, Tyranids. I had a lot of fun with them. I need to play with those changes a little bit more because they got changed drastically there. Only one I could think of is the Imperial Navy, and that's with the melted torpedoes now stacked up to 10 times. They're now their new rally, which is kind of similar to what it was for the Adeptus Mechanicus, if I'm recalling. Instead of emergency repair being buffed, it's the encouraging speech that got buffed. So regenerate shields by 30%, maneuvers by 50%, but I lose one troop as a constellation. Which, at the very least, is very thematic towards how the Imperial Navy works. I just don't know how killing a troop helps your shields recharge. I know it redoubles their effort, so I would be inclined to think that would be some kind of buff you would get over time, kind of similar to how the WoG song works with the rally. That's what I think would have been more appropriate, but it still fits with the theme. I like it a lot. I just gotta remember, the armor-piercing ammo has been nerfed a little bit. It basically is now roughly double the damage, but still really damn potent otherwise against anything with 83 armor. I'll do this one final match, maybe another 2v2, and then I'm going to call it a night, I think. It's been a fun experience though, I gotta say. I am excited for playtesting Adeptus Mechanicus and Tyranids now, since I have to commit a week to them at some point, right? I'm just more interested in putting them on the top of my list from here on out, since they're the new exciting things after all. And again, I need to experiment with like a torpedo type build too. That would be a lot of fun as well. At least for Tyranids, I can regenerate the torpedoes, keep firing them. I know the simplest thing to do would be just go back to carrier build, which is kind of what I'm afraid of. What will happen there. His carrier builds will make a return, and this time they will just sit in the clouds and just spam fighters constantly, repeatedly, over and over again. And my Exorcist, unfortunately, is going to get outlasted in that regard. I did forget to change my sub-faction though, but that's not a problem. We'll stick with the Gothic colors. It's the way the Imperial Navy would have wanted it. We'll do Admiral Spire proud. I am suspecting maybe a carrier build though, with that said, since it was the popular Tyranid build before, and with the changes they have a lot of incentive to bring it back. Where do I want to well, I think I want to be on this side because at least this way I can go make a beeline straight for 3 points. There are a couple things I need to keep an eye on. One, how many synapse ships did I have is the big thing. Because that will encourage me to at least fixate on the flagship ideally, and maybe cripple the morale of everything else with melted torpedoes. Actually, well, I need scanner pulses, and so my Cobras are perfect over here. My Dauntless and everything else will join later on. Oh, I did not even set you to a group, silly me. Silly me.
Aye, Admiral. Coordinates acknowledged.
Yeah, where would you be hiding? I can hear the tracking sensors, but that doesn't actually give away where they're at. For some reason, you're tracking sensors with everything, though, one by one. I wonder if that's deliberate to kind of mask the rush sound of his fleet. That would actually be kind of ingenious. I'm gonna have to listen for more rushing. That would kind of give away where potentially he might be at. Otherwise, that's gonna be the most important thing. Spying them with enough leeway to do damage to them, or at least soften them up with torpedoes. Because as much as I would love to lob torpedoes there, it's kind of pointless if I don't know there's any cruisers there. But I'm seeing no fighters of note. Oh, I take that back. We got 2 cruisers of some kind here. So maybe the fleet is spread out, with that said.
We wait your command.
Which would actually be pretty good in this sense. If I just gotta get confirmation of that. That is all.
Aye, Admiral.
Otherwise, not much else to say. I'm just trying to listen is really the best I can do. Assuming it actually works that way. Sometimes I hear it, sometimes I don't, and of course it's a new patch, so it's possible that may have been fixed.
Your orders? Ship ready.
Okay, I think they were over there. I'm gonna do a scanner pulse in a moment. Once I'm on the objective. Nothing at all. Oops, silly me.
Understood.
Silly me.
Aye, Admiral.
It's kind of warranted to just boost on forward. I need to keep my fleet together.
Engaging engines. Burn retros.
Wait a minute, you have scanner pulse? Or did I actually?
Coordinates acknowledged.
This is news to me.
Orders.
This is news to me. When the hell did Tyranids get scanner pulses?
Changing course. Acquiring new vector.
I'm coming for you. You just burnt your 2 cooldowns there.
Engines. All ahead, full. We serve.
Yeah, we just gotta do damage necessary. That's the catch. We have fighters to help in this regard.
We wait your command.
Ram it and then call to arms.
We wait your command.
Just call to arms and minimize that damage as much as possible.
We serve. Engaging engines.
Okay, Devour Fleet is coming on in hard.
Execute high energy turn. Ship ready. Heading
Feral
acknowledged.
Instinct. Oh my god, did we just kill the flagship without me realizing it?
Heading acknowledged.
That I was not expecting for the life of me.
Course engaged.
There, the 83 armor did wonders, but I'm gonna get rammed again if I'm not careful. Oh, I consider that a big success. We soaked a lot of ramming damage there. I got a little complacent, good god. There, break their morale, break their shields, and then just clean up the mess.
Ship ready.
Also, you did well with the cold arms, I gotta say, considering it's a devourer.
Changing course.
And I can boost my combustion gauge, let's keep that in mind too. Battle is lost. Oh, was that my Dauntless? It was my Falchion. Where the hell is my Falchion at?
You failed for the last time, Captain.
You're probably just gonna burn to death, sadly.
Understood.
All is lost.
And that was supposed to be a disruption bomb, not a stasis bomb. I did it again.
Burn retros.
Now let's burn you to hell.
Engaging engines.
Since now we know your one little weakness.
Aye, Admiral.
What do you have to say about them?
Course engaged.
This is not gonna be pretty.
Boarding teams have crippled the enemy.
Hey, was that too early? That was too damn early.
Coordinates acknowledged.
Oh, and I should have been paying attention. I'm losing crew too.
Your orders.
So I might be getting a little careless, but there's one ship left to deal with.
Reporting successful boarding action.
Aye, Admiral.
Alright, join the fight. Join the fight. I'm doing a bad job controlling again. It's becoming a recurring theme that I don't like one bit.
The enemy. Aye, Admiral. Underway.
There, melt the torpedoes. Correct what the battleship could not do. Since you cannot repair that,
Heading acknowledged.
and sadly I cannot deal with the mutiny.
Your orders?
Everything is going amazingly. The flagship that's supposed to be leading this fight is the one that's cowering away.
Ship ready. Aye,
Is ultimately what it comes down to.
The
Ooh,
enemy
excuse
has
me.
accumulated
Here's what it's coming to.
25% of strategic points.
We wait your command.
Oh well. I don't want to believe he's a master rank if my opponents are conceding to the fact that they are not they were a bit overwhelmed. So I don't know what to make, because it always it shows almost the exact same rank status. So I don't know what to believe here. My opponent's comments suggest that. What am I trying to say? Suggests that he's a lower rank and not legendary rank. That's all I can really say in that matter. But I gotta say, getting more than 4 stacks of fire results feels amazing. Especially when you're using it against a faction that can't actually negate the fire results easily. And good god, what were the chances of me just can't immediately die bombing the flagship? I just feel bad my opponent wasn't actually level 10. Because he would have had access to the synaptic relay, was it? Which would have been significant. You know, would have had a lot harder time as opposed to the silly mess that I was doing. But let's do one more match. One more match with what though? Space Marines were nerfed, but it's mostly on the torpedo front. Don't think Necrons were changed too much. I don't know who else is left there that's had really drastic changes. So I guess it's anybody's game here. Anybody's game, so I might as well use it as an opportunity to get some experience on one of these fleets. Which really is most of them. I still need to level up Necrons, I still need to level up the merchant fleet. And all that stuff, so which do I feel like playing most? I think I want to experiment with a shroud build, if I'm going to be honest. I have 2 scythes and a bunch of jackals here. Let me just create a new fleet strictly of shrouds, not so much the Cartosian Kopej, I mean the shroud, since where is that buff? It actually has the shroud hull, which allows it to... Wait, let's see. If it is revealed, but yeah, it has the true shroud effect. Hell, the entire shroud ability was probably named after the ship, for crying out loud. Do I really need this many shrouds though? I don't know how I feel about this. But without a doubt, the strategy is to try and harass, chip them down, and rely on my perfect aim to win the day. I just don't know where we'll go with this. If I were to be serious, probably denying critical hits would be one thing, since that's kind of what the light cruisers are vulnerable to. Continue to use stances sounds promising, especially with Salt Rain. If I need to Salt Run, that is kind of essential for that. Gonna be tricky to use reload, I think. I would imagine. No star pulse generator. Phase shifters. I'm limited in my choices. What can I say? Resurrection orb could actually be useful here too. But we'll see what we're up against. If it seems like we're dealing with Tyranids or boarding, I'm probably gonna need Resurrection orb. Since it's gonna work on all 5 of my ships, so I can balance it out a little bit by siphoning my troops over to whatever has been boarded, and then use Resurrection Orb to help with that. There is at least some synergy there against a boarding heavy type of fleet. I just gotta somehow not get bored so ridiculously fast that it kills my light cruisers. That'll be the catch. Alright. Give us that one final match there. I am eager to try this out. It may not synergize well with my ally though, unless I'm in their face immediately or sniping their frigates. If this is going to work in a 2v2 manner, I gotta be aggressive and start doing damage to them right away. So I'm going to be relying on my single frigate to do that for me, which is where I'm a little bit apprehensive about this, since if they can use a gas cloud or asteroid belt early on, then I'm going to have to commit to getting to point blank range, which I do not like. Come on, don't leave us in suspense now. The Necron fleet awaits. The Necron fleet wants to show why they are superior. Hell, I just realized the 5 Shroud fleet is basically the attack on Mars, wasn't it? In one of the encounters they've had. I think it was in Battlefleet Gothic they made reference to, was it? Or maybe I'm mistaken it for 3 Shrouds. So maybe this is the official fleet that attacked Mars. Maybe they rescued a Void Dragon. I don't know what the plan was. I'm not even sure if it was the Void Dragon that was imprisoned on Mars or not. I honestly can't remember. It's been a while since I read the Horus Heresy Mechanicus book. Ooh, Eldar. Eldar all around. Good God, I'm surrounded by Eldar. It's an Eldar sandwich, and chances are, if my experience is anything, the Corsairs, yeah, 2 Void Stalkers. At least my fleet synergizes well with my ally. The question is, how am I going to deal with theirs? I'm going to need a probe, without a doubt. And I think my shrouds are going to die quickly once they get isolated. I don't have the health to deal with like 4 Eldar ships. It's a bit of a problem. So I'm going to have to think on how to best mitigate this. All I can think of is hull regeneration. A lot of hit and run, there's only one problem. There's only one real gas cloud for me to utilize. So it's going to be tricky to do that. I'm going to try it anyway. I need to keep these ships alive somehow is what the main plan is going to be. So actually, Shrouds, you go there. Jackal, you're going to try and spot something for me somehow. Oh, can I already? I want to get my flagship behind everything else. That may be a mistake letting my flagship get easily sniped, is what I'm trying to get at. And actually, you're group 2. Your group 3 there. Problem solved. This will make it the formation a little bit tighter. At least that way the flagship doesn't get sniped down, but I am screwed. Oh, they're waiting on me. Now I lost my train of thought with that panic. So we know these are probably cruisers here. Those are likely cruisers or frigates. Actually, I'm willing to bet it's 4 cruisers. It's a very predictable type of fleet comp. So now begs the question, how am I going to best deal with this? I got perfect aim on my lightning arcs, so that will help tremendously in dealing with the hollow fields. I at least got that going for me. I just need to reveal them.
Yes, my liege.
And main rule with shroud fleets, if I'm to understand properly, never inertialist drive unless I absolutely have to.
The enemy
Hell.
has seized a strategic area.
I have fighters, why not use them to the best of my ability? I'm giving away my strategy, mind you, but I'm kind of giving away where I am anyway, so that's no surprise.
You have seized a
Since I am
strategic
capping this
area.
point for crying out loud. I'll use my fighters for scouting, and this shroud needs to not get isolated. Ah, dang it. That's the one flaw, but at least there's only phoenixes there. At least those two anyway are phoenixes. Oh, and I let myself get stuck with a beacon, really? Well, that's embarrassing.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Ah, well, I can fix this easily.
Motive units fully engaged. Ready to
And you could just hide until necessary. And then I revealed myself again. And I also had a beacon. I'm doing a bad job remembering things.
your glory. I am the dynasty's spear.
I'm going to help you in a moment. Although this is going to be a very interesting type of turn of events. I just got to keep mine to repair, because I can repair my allies' ships. Just don't let your hull field fall off. This is a fatal mistake. No.
What is your command?
This is a bit of a failed mistake on my opponent's part. Oh, and I'm also an idiot because I had Shroud. I didn't need Salt running.
Initializing motive power.
Yeah, you just condemned yourself to death there. You just made yourself such an easy kill. Oh my.
On the march.
The enemy has
Why am I
accumulated
revealed right now there?
25% of strategic points.
Oh, scanner pulse. That's pretty much why. Since I never did deal, I let my frigate get sniped down really easily after all. But this is over. My ally decided to commit kamikaze there, and it's not going to do us much favors. Well, not the most exciting way to end this. Because unless I jump in there, I'm going to have to jump in there, honestly.
All power to motive units. What is your command? Impossible.
And if I can hit them, that'd be good. But this is pretty much over.
I serve your glory.
Can I
The
repair?
enemy
Where
has
is my
seized a
flagship?
strategic area.
It's only a temporary damage. I don't think it's warranted.
Inevitable.
I'm just wondering. I could still shoot this.
Energy to reconnaissance. I am the dynasty's spear.
Yes, panic. Flee! If I could spread some of the damage there, that helps a lot.
Inferior vessel sighted.
Yes, kill this thing.
Successful.
This will make my life really easy. I should try and reveal that one pulse ship too.
What is your command?
Oh, I hit the wrong button there. I want to reload. Or to repair. Not going to do much good here in this regard.
Motive units fully engaged.
And right now, I didn't even kill the frigate, did I? Oh, don't tell me you're doing the same noob mistake as standing still with letting your hull field die down.
What is your command?
Wait, this is not how you want to lose.
The enemy has
Against
accumulated 50%
a player that's using the Void Stalkers kind of ineffectively. Because since after all, oh, you have to reload?
Ready to serve.
Can I hit this thing? I have no excuse for my how well I'm doing though. It's the only problem. And you are about to break in morale too. I just got too many targets to shoot at, so... Oh well. This is game. This is something I want to experiment with, but when my ally basically commits suicide, there's not much I could do about it, sadly. Because this thing would have been so easy to kill once I get my entire fleet able to shoot at it. I just didn't get much of an opportunity to do that, sadly. Oh, that's a shame.
The enemy has seized a
It's getting
strategic
late.
area.
Oh, that's one of the other changes they made, didn't they? The game doesn't actually end until both of us concede, as opposed to having one person try and ruin it. How much boring damage does this do anyway? 2 assault actions, so yeah, 60% critical hit chance. I could do a lot of critical hit damage with 5 light cruisers too. Cripple the engines and all that good stuff. Not how I would have liked it to end the stream, but it is what it is. I want to play with that shroud fleet some more. That was just a poor display. A really bad display, I'm afraid to say. Eh well. It was a bit of a nice break from having to fixate entirely on chaos, if nothing else. I suppose. It would have been a different story maybe if my ally decided to go after their Void Stalkers, as opposed to something that was actually cheaper than it, let alone weaker, I suppose, while even his prize Void Stalker's vulnerable. Ah well, that's the nature of 2v2. Thank you everyone for tuning in to that little bit of a mess. It was some good matches though otherwise. I still had a fun time with it. Have a good night, and I will see you soon.